Recently, I took 2 multi-day courses from competent instructors that focused on how to fight with a pistol or a combination of a rifle and a handgun. Those classes contained instruction on single-handed manipulation of a handgun in the event that you find yourself wounded or disabled in an armed conflict. 6 weeks ago, I broke my arm and had to undergo emergency surgery, leaving me with only one functional hand for over 2 months. I am the primary defender of my household. In the event that violence is visited upon us, it will fall initially to me, probably entirely to me, to provide lethal defense and protection for my family. This experience emphasized the importance of being able to run my handgun effectively one-handed. Although I've been exposed to this idea and skill set, I never imagined I might actually be required to use it. I am not an expert on this topic, nor have I achieved the skill and speed I would like to. This video contains my musings on this subject, a discussion of the gear I've been using, and a real-world example that highlights the value of developing this skill set. I thought I would share with you some of the items that I used in the filming of this video, these one-handed manipulations of a firearm. One thing I'll just point out here at the beginning is my cast is a different color. The reason my cast is a different color, here's my old cast, is the fact that I had this pin removed a couple days ago from my arm. So I've still got another pin here holding my bones together as they heal, but they were worried about this one causing problems for me, so they removed it, which meant they had to take the cast off, remove it, so I have a different cast here. But there is no trickery, no magic. My arm is healing well, and I look forward to full recovery with most or all of the mobility in my wrist that I managed to break my arm right there where my wrist and my arm joined together. So that's why my cast is a different color in this video than in the shooting portions of this video. So what I've got here is my Glock 26 Gen 4, okay, with XS big dot sights on it. I really like XS big dot sights. When I'm shooting under stress, I am able to be more accurate and precise with these than with other sights that may inherently lend themselves to better accuracy when you're shooting in a comfortable situation, when you're not under stress. But when I'm under stress, I'm able to see that big dot, and I'm able to get shots on target. I've got it in a little Galco holster. I'll give you the numbers there. This is a Galco Fletch high ride holster. I really like it. This is one of my favorite outside the waistband holsters. And I really, really like this combination. Because I am carrying outside of the waistband, partly because of my broken arm, it's easier for me to do manipulations, access the gun, get my shirt up when I'm outside the waistband rather than inside the waistband. Okay, so that's why as a general rule, I try to do more inside the waistband carry than outside the waistband carry. But I've been kind of in clothing that it's easier for me to conceal because I'm wearing sweatshirts and stuff. I actually went and got sweatshirts to cut the sleeve off so I could get it over the cast. So because I'm wearing kind of more frumpy clothing outside the waistband is not a problem. This is a little Leatherman sheath or pouch that I modified and turned into a mag holder. What I like about this is that if my shirt comes up a little bit, people still think I probably just got a Leatherman on if they see it. Even if they totally see it, they may not realize that it's anything other than a Leatherman case. But I sewed it up a little bit differently, brought this strap over, and then I sewed this little piece of paracord on so that this portion, this tan strap, wouldn't slide off of it. And if I'd done it all with a black material, so a black paracord and a black strap, I think it would blend in really. People wouldn't know what in the world they were looking at other than probably just a Leatherman pouch. So it lends itself to concealment. I'm wearing it, so I've got this kind of strong side, and I'm wearing it up close so that I can access it because I'm shooting the gun. When the gun goes dry, putting the gun back in the holster, hopefully having remembered to eject the magazine. You guys will see me struggle with that here. And then I'm grabbing the mag, pulling it out one-handed, putting it in the gun, and then racking the gun either off my belt off this or off the holster in order to rack another round in the chamber. There are situations where as I forced the mag in, the slide went forward because the frame on this Glock flexed. That's something that can happen. I still racked it because most of the time it's going to have chambered around when it runs forward, but sometimes it doesn't, and it's just faster to assume that it didn't. Make sure it does and come up and shoot rather than click, and now we're trying again to reload the gun. Component of this carry system that's very important is the belt. And this is a Galco gun leather belt that I really like. Let's see, I will annotate. Here, I think we can read it. This is an SB2, okay, a 36B. So SB2 36B. This is an awesome belt. I've had it for 5 years. I probably need to get another one and use to kind of retire this, keep it. It's still got lots of years life left in it, but it is a little more flexible than it was when I first got it. This is an excellent belt, and you need a good belt to be kind of the spinal column of your carry system. If you're going to be carrying inside the waistband, outside the waistband, you know, if you're going to be doing belt carry, you need a good belt. If you're using a flimsy belt, you're always going to struggle. One-handed techniques for pistols are something that I've played with before, but I've done it because I thought it was cool and interesting, but I never really thought I'm going to need to use one-handed techniques. Currently, even though my left hand is getting stronger, one-handed techniques is what I would have to employ to defend my family or defend myself. So I've been taking that a little more seriously. The shooting that you guys saw me do here in this video with this setup was the first shooting that I've done with a centerfire pistol since my accident a month ago. And I was happy to see that I am still dangerous, that I can still fight and move and reload and manipulate the gun, and I can do most of the things well enough that I think I at least would try to employ them rather than just shoot and run away. So if I had a malfunction, racking it off my belt, racking it off one of the pouches or the holster, and allowing myself to continue the fight even if I'm only using one hand. I have in the past played with one-handed manipulations. As a general rule, manipulating the gun with my right hand. Okay, I'm very right hand dominant. I can shoot with my left hand when it's not broken, but I prefer to shoot with my right hand if I'm going to shoot one-handed. And this is a setup that I've used, a Safariland holster and drop rig system that I set up specifically to help me when I'm doing one-handed manipulations. I'll have some video footage of me in here shooting this gun, one-handed manipulations with this setup. So you can see the way I set it up here is so that if this gun goes empty, so I draw the gun, I shoot, have to do a reload. And you know what? An interesting thing I learned about my training here is that there's something in my brain that when I'm not getting a fresh magazine and coming up to the gun, I forget to eject the mag. And I don't know what that is, but you guys saw me struggle as I put my Glock 26 back in the holster, and then I'm trying to jam a magazine into the mag well, but it's got a mag already in there. And it was just interesting. I struggled with that multiple times when I was doing this shooting here more recently, and I looked at the footage and I struggled with it, you know, a couple years ago when I was practicing one-handed manipulations here. And, you know, that's just an interesting thing under stress, struggling, trying to do that. And so I just learned, hey, when I'm not going for a fresh mag and coming up, there's something about finding my fresh mag and then dropping my mag and inserting it. I've trained that way. My mind has gotten used to that. So I need to think about that and make sure that when I'm doing one-handed manipulations that I still get that mag out, that I shake it out, okay, that maybe I have to grab it and bite the bottom of the magazine and pull it out. I've got to get this empty magazine out of the gun before I go to reload. So the way I have this holster set up is I've got a mag pouch here. So assuming I'm doing one-handed manipulations because I've been hurt, and my left hand's been hurt, as a perfect example here, what I want to be able to do is draw the gun, use the gun, drop the magazine, put the gun back in the holster, and then come up here with my hand, grab this fresh mag, okay, pull it out, jam it in, and then rack the slide, right? And it's a lot easier to do it with this big honking system on your leg. A lot easier. But here's the thing. As an individual engaging in legal concealed carry, I don't want to give up my the element of surprise by walking around with a big open carry holster, very similar to what police or law enforcement, identical to what police and law enforcement use. I don't want to give up that element of surprise that I want to have as an individual engaging in concealed carry. So I could wear this around town. People might be comfortable with that. Actually, where I live, people do similar kinds of things, but I don't want to be doing that. I want to be as concealed as possible. So that's why you guys saw me practicing with a concealment system. And I actually think one-handed manipulation with your EDC gear is a much more important skill than one-handed manipulation with tactical gear that you'll probably use in a class or on the range, but that you'll probably never really employ in a real-life situation.
I chose to run this course a number of different times. You can see me here testing a modified grip using my broken arm. I'm 4 weeks into recovering in this video, but I used my broken arm to grasp the wrist of my firing hand, and it did seem to increase my accuracy. But what I found is that this grip was actually painful to me. And so this is the one run where I chose to employ this technique and see if I would be able to increase my accuracy. I'm certainly capable of missing, whether I'm shooting one-handed or two-handed, and even in the best of situations. I would encourage you to experiment with single-handed manipulation of a handgun. This skill set may come in handy when you least expect it. I hope you found this video helpful, useful, or interesting. I hope it's encouraged you to consider deficits in your training and your skill set. It's my goal here at the TheGearTester YouTube channel to produce quality video reviews on the topics of shooting, camping, and survival gear. I would encourage you, rather than staying safe, to stay dangerous and to train accordingly. This is the TheGearTester signing off.